Well, hello and welcome to our cruise review.
Hello!
You may have seen our recent videos about our Norwegian cruise to the fjords on the P&O Britannia. But if you haven't, don't worry, because here's a montage. Welcome back. So let's have a chat about our second cruise ever. 7 nights on the P&O Britannia on a Norwegian Fjord cruise with 4 port days. So let's start with the ship.
Okay.
The ship itself.
The ship itself.
P&O Britannia, as we mentioned, I've got the facts written down here. It's got 3,647 passengers and 1,350 crew, and was built or launched in March 2015.
That's at maximum capacity.
Yeah. And it's got rooms, our room was on deck 15. A deck.
How many decks has it got? 8?
I haven't got that written down.
There's 18 decks, I think.
Yeah, I think above us was the Lido deck and the buffet. Then I think there were like 18, there weren't full decks. Anyway, it's the biggest ship we've been on. We've only been on 2. Previously, we were on the Aurora.
And that was half the size.
Yeah.
Basically.
And what do you think of it?
Well, when was the ship built?
2015, it came into service.
2015. I thought it would be a little bit newer somehow inside. I mean, the rooms were nice. They were modern.
They were better.
They were better than the Aurora. Bathroom was better. The room, I think, was a bit better. But it was just a little bit worn around the edges.
Yeah, I thought it would be sparklier, if that's a word.
Sparklier, yeah.
Yeah.
It was very clean.
But it's still nice, though.
It's still nice.
Yeah.
We're being super picky here, to be honest. But I thought it would be a little bit newer. But, yes, I liked the ship. There was a few things I didn't quite like about the ship. I think
Getting around was awkward.
getting around was awkward.
The lifts weren't good. There were plenty of them, but they seemed to be crowded all the time.
Yes.
And there wasn't like a central staircase. We were in the middle of the ship, deck 15, so we had to go up one floor to the buffet and the Lido. But we had to walk all the way to the end, or the front of the ship, to get up one floor.
Yeah.
Like the central elevators didn't have a stairwell next to it, which I thought was odd.
But we did a lot of walking up and down the stairs, really. That's perfectly fine if you're
We did about
able.
15,000 steps one day.
Yeah. Yeah. And how many floors did you do? A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Yes, that was one of the things. And the rooms, I think, they were fairly well equipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hairdryer was a little bit old. It was fine.
It was
There
good
was
to
tea and
get-
coffee making facilities in the room, like we have to have in the British ships.
But value for money, I think you do get.
You do get good
You know,
value
people
for
say
money.
this is really nicer, these ships are nicer, but you're paying twice as much on some of these trips. But and space-wise was okay, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We had a balcony cabin.
Balcony cabin, small balcony, but it's perfectly adequate. And there was a sofa in the room? Chair in the room? No, chair in the room.
There was a chair, not a sofa.
Chair in the room. And as I said, the facilities in the bathroom was fine. It was fairly new, quite compact. One thing I didn't particularly like about the ship was the lack of pools. So,
Yeah, the Aurora had a roof. This one didn't have a roof.
Yeah, on
And
the
going
pool.
to the Norwegian
pool.
fjords, it would have done. It'd be good to have a roof.
Yeah, and they could have had a few more hot tubs.
And
things
the
around.
Aurora was adults only, but this one had kids aboard.
Yes.
Not too many. I'm not complaining.
And the kids
but
are fine.
like the kids are in the hot tub, aren't they? They get in the hot tub and they stay there all the time, don't they?
Yes. So there was an adult only section, wasn't it? on
Yeah, but
the-
they didn't have a hot tub. Then they had the retreat, which the section you had to
Pay for.
And the weather wasn't good enough for that.
No. So it would have been nice to have a few more pools. It's
Or
not
an
really a
adult
ship.
only area.
Yeah.
They had an adult only pool, but not hot tubs.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're picky. not picky. We're just
doing a balance review, really.
But it was nice though. Like like the adult area was quiet. We had a drink up there, didn't we, one night?
Yeah.
Yes, it was a nice area, and it was much quieter than the main public area.
Another thing, there wasn't a promenade deck. Was there a full promenade deck?
Yeah. Like on the Aurora, you could walk around the whole ship. On this one, it was only like a third of the ship you could walk around in one go.
Yeah. There was a gym on the ship, which I did think about using.
And that was nice.
But we thought about
it. We walked through it.
We walked through it.
Does that count?
Yeah, of course it does. Okay.
Anyway, should we move on to the food?
Okay, the food, yes.
Yeah, the food. Look at my notes again. On board ship, there's 11 restaurants and 15 bars and cafes.
That's surprising. I didn't think it was so many.
It's quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, should we start with the main one, the buffet?
Yeah, the Horizon buffet, which I think is called the same on all the P&O ships.
It was similar to the Aurora we've been on. The good stuff was good, but some of it wasn't so nice, was it?
Yeah, but there was.
There was always something. There was always something that was good. They're good at Indian food.
Oh, they had amazing Indian food. I mean, there was always some sort of Indian dish on the menu, I found. They had a vegetarian curry or had one really, really good chicken biryani on there.
Yeah, you said it was the best biryani you ever had.
Yeah. And also, they had an Indian buffet night.
That was really nice, especially the onion bhajis and the samosas, and I had a plate of those.
Yeah, very, very good. And some good Asian food as well. I think I had a nice sort of noodles with beef and like a spicy.
And you had a roast dinner, didn't you?
Oh yeah, and I quite like the roast dinner section. There always seemed to be like a roast dinner on, lamb or turkey or whatever, and there was always like accompaniments to that.
It was quite busy, breakfast time.
Yeah.
We didn't go to the main dining rooms for breakfast because they all stopped service quite early. It was like 9 o'clock, wasn't it?
Yeah. So we ended up in the buffet, and the buffet was busy for breakfast because it serves up until 11ish.
But trying to get a table was tricky sometimes.
Yeah.
Generally, it was okay. It was okay, wasn't it?
It was fine. Yeah. It was fine. There was always a bit of choice there.
Other places.
Oh, wait a sec. What about vegetarian options on the buffet?
I had the vegetarian curry a few times and stuff like that, and it looked like slop. It did, but it was really, really nice.
It was like a lentil curry, was it?
The presentation wasn't good, but when you actually served it, it was really nice.
And they do cater. They have a section where they had soy milk, oat milk, and things like that. And there was always
what you were doing,
section,
pardon me.
Yeah.
You were taking some of that back to your room as well.
Yeah, because I usually just drink soya milk. So I was taking that to my room and putting it in a glass, and they're fine with things like that.
Okay, the next thing is the main dining rooms, the Meridian and Pearl.
Okay. So basically, the menu on these ones are the same, aren't they?
Yeah.
Is there any difference?
I had to say, I didn't see any difference. No. I couldn't tell which one I was in if I was there.
And they were both...
If you're obviously a P&O regular, you may know the differences. But
are they both freedom dining then?
Yeah. I think there was another one, the Oriental, which was for set time diners. I don't know who they were, but we were freedom. You put your name down. And by the way, if you put your name down on the app, it said 70 people before you. Don't think it's going to be hours because it's about 25 minutes, wasn't it?
So basically, if you can either rock up and wait, or you put your name down on the My Holiday P&O app. Now that isn't an app as such; it's a website. You can only access it when you're on the ship. It's free to access, and then you put your name down on a wait list.
Yeah, you can have a shared table or a couple's table.
Yeah.
What I noticed though, they say you're on your own table, but what they do, they've got the individual tables, but they do 6 of you, 3 tables next to each other, and so basically you are sharing a table. They say you're on your own, but there's 2 tables there, 2 seats there, 2 seats there, 2 seats there.
Do you have some photos we can put in for that to show the main dining room?
I don't know if I didn't film it.
I have.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can put a few in.
No, it was slacker. Sorry, it was slacker.
Well, we all know that, don't we? So the main dining rooms, some good things there. I always liked the steak and chips. That was always seems to be on an option on the main dining rooms almost every night. Not a huge portion of chips, but it was lovely, really nice with the béarnaise sauce. Who has béarnaise sauce these days? Wait a minute, excuse me. I want to talk about the béarnaise sauce here.
Okay.
Who has béarnaise sauce? People have peppercorn sauce. People have red wine sauce. People have a Madeira sauce. Who has béarnaise sauce with steak?
There could be hundreds of béarnaise sauce fans out there. Yeah, don't slag those off. They could be our core demographic.
Tell me below if you like béarnaise sauce.
Okay.
It was nice enough.
Yeah.
But there was a good option always. There's always a chicken option, wasn't there? And chicken with wedges or chicken with chips.
And I had a vegetarian, which was nice.
Yeah, you always had the vegetarian options, and they were really good on the buffet.
And a tip, I was going to say, the blokes next to us, they asked for extra vegetables, didn't they?
Yes. So it doesn't very often come with a lot of vegetables. And another tip as well, which I did, not on this ship, but on Aurora, if you like a starter, ask for another one. You can ask for extra starters or extra desserts or even an extra main course. But obviously, don't take out and have it all and not eat it. But you are allowed in the main dining rooms.
Move on to the other ones. Where else did we go? We didn't go to the Epicurean, which is the fine dining restaurant.
That's a set charge.
And we didn't go to Sindhu, the Indian, because we had such a good Indian buffet. We didn't want to pay extra and go to Sindhu, and we went to Sindhu on Aurora.
The Epicurean is around £25-30 if you book it.
Yeah.
I think it's slightly cheaper if you book it in advance.
Yeah.
But we didn't go there. It is like a fine dining type of restaurant.
And Sindhu's like a fine dining Indian restaurant. It's got a nice bar. The bar area.
Fine dining in India.
Well, it's
a
not
posher Indian.
It's not your regular chicken tikka masala Indian type of thing.
No.
And we went to the beach house, which I didn't think was as nice on this ship as it was on the Aurora. The beach house is like a sectioned off area of the buffet with waiter service. They do like Tex-Mex, stuff like that.
Like sizzler, fajita type things. They do hanging kebabs, steaks.
When we were on the Aurora, it felt like a separate restaurant, but this one did feel like a sectioned off bit of the buffet.
Yeah, I think there's like a set fee for it, around £9.50, and then there's an extra upcharge for the odd thing like a steak. Now, one thing on this, I had salmon on a plank salmon, and I didn't like it at all, and I'm not that picky, and I didn't think the salmon was fresh.
You had the same on the Aurora.
Well, it was really nice.
So it could have been a one-off. It could have been.
It was dry. It was overcooked. It did taste a bit bitter. Actually, it was just a bit strange. It wasn't a nice meal at all, and that's a shame really, because I've had it on the Aurora and it was really nice on there, the plank salmon. I would say the kebabs looked good. They had got hanging kebabs there and they looked really good. And I think they got steak on a lava stone, which looks amazing as well. So I think I would try those next time.
The other specialty dining was the glass house.
Yes, and we didn't do the glass house on Aurora, and I wish we had now, because the glass house was amazing.
Yeah, we had a really good meal. It was really nice.
Yeah.
And we had a good seat, really nice waiter. We had a seat right by the window.
They have sort of tapasy style portions.
Yeah, about 3 portions.
Yeah, like you can have like a mix and match.
Yeah.
Then there's
sliders.
Got slightly bigger things as well. You can have steak there as well. I had sliders, 3 small sort of hamburgers, but different flavours. They were like a chicken one, and there was like I think it was a lamb and a beef one, and they were really good. What did you have there?
I can't remember.
Oh, it was so good you can't remember.
I had some wine. That's probably why I can't remember.
Yeah, we had a wine
they
flight.
They had nice flights of wine, some nice wines there.
They weren't ridiculous price either, were they?
But the thing is, with the glass house, it goes from the atrium to the window. If we were by the window side, it was nice and quiet. But if you're on the atrium side, it could be noisy. You get the singers coming up with the sound of
the atriums. It's a really big open atrium.
But we enjoyed it. We'd go back.
Yeah, definitely. And it wasn't that expensive. I think like you can have starters and main courses only less than you would pay in a normal restaurant.
There's professional look notes. So that's those. Where else did we go? We went to the Limelight Club. This is like a cabaret style dining experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
You book it, so you have a small table, and then you have an entertainer who comes on before you start eating and in between courses and things like that. At the end, he does his main set.
Can I say something? Yeah.
What?
No, you have the food first. Then the entertainer comes on, then you have dessert, okay? So don't listen to him. But it may change. But with this, it's one of the only things you can really book in advance. And about 2 weeks before, you should be able to see who's on in the entertainment club. It seems to be mainly people from The Voice or X Factor, doesn't it?
Yeah.
For example, we saw Kevin Sim, who used to be in Liberty X.
Liberty Kiss.
Liberty Kiss. What did they sing?
I don't know.
I don't know, they didn't have a number one.
I'm not a big fan.
And now he's the lead singer in Wet, Wet, Wet now, after Marty Pello's
He was
gone.
quite, I was thinking...
He was entertaining.
I was thinking, not my thing. But he was quite entertaining. He was very entertaining. He was quite funny.
Was, yeah.
And it was him and a pianist, and they were...
And,
it was a good show.
And other people they have there, people like Gareth Gates, I've lost now for words.
Other people...
Chesney Hawkes.
Chesney Hawkes,
I'd like
that
to
would
see
have been
him.
good.
I would have gone to see him. He's only had one song, one hit, isn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Written by Nick Kershaw.
Oh, yeah.
You like
no,
Nick?
I like Nick.
Anyway, we're digressing onto
It's a good
rabbit hole of
experience.
Chesney Hawkes.
And I had the best steak I had on the ship there. I had a steak in like a little, I think it was mushroom and red wine sauce or something, and it was amazing. That was really good food.
And I asked for a cocktail they didn't have in that bar, and there was no worries. There was no worry, I'll go and get one. And he went, got it, yeah.
It was a 3 courses.
Yeah.
And they had a little amuse-bouche as well, a little sort of thing before our starters as well.
Yeah,
didn't we?
my bouche was very amused.
It was your bush was very amused.
Anyway, should we go on to the bars?
Okay then,
The
go on
bars.
to the bars.
So, the bars.
The bars.
Well, you could get drinks everywhere, couldn't you?
In what way?
There are just bars everywhere. But
Yeah.
the favourite one is the Crow's Nest, would you say?
The Crow's Nest, yes. I really like the Crow's Nest.
It can be quite busy, and getting a seat can be difficult, especially on embarkation day. And that's right at the front of the ship on the top deck.
Yes.
And they get nice cocktails. They have a pianist there.
Yeah, playing a little light jazz.
And then, what are the bars? Brody's Bar, which is like a pub bar. But we went there a few times. They had the
quiz there.
So
there's lots of quizzes running all the way throughout the day. But we liked there was like a music quiz where people couldn't really cheat. You just had a little clip of music, and then we did quite well in those.
Yeah. Then there was the Blue Bar, which is like in the atrium bar.
Mm-hmm.
And that was they did quite nice drinks there as well.
Yeah.
But it's like an atrium. It's like a foyer area.
Yeah. Lovely foyer, mind
yeah.
you, but really nice.
And what other ones we go to? Oh, one thing, the casino.
Mm-hmm.
In the magazine you have, they had a promotion. Come to the casino, get a free drink, and they had this promotion. And when you got there was nothing. There's nothing at all. Nothing.
And I asked about the free drinks. They said, you have to pay a certain amount in and put your card in the machine.
We spent about 40 quid.
Yeah, and we had nothing. Not like Vegas where you get a free drink.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on because they actually had come to the casino tomorrow night for this promotion. And there was nothing going on. I don't know what happened there.
No.
But yeah, all the bars are pretty good, like the Blue Bar.
Yeah. Sindhu had a nice little bar in it, didn't it?
We mentioned that, but I think I mentioned that briefly.
Yeah.
Sindhu does have a little bar outside, which is nice and quite dark, atmospheric.
Yeah, and also if the other bars are busy, it's a place you can go and have a drink, and people don't seem to go to that bar area that much.
No. And I think you can get drinks in the glass house, but it's quite busy there.
And there's lots of places outside you can get drinks as well. There's
obviously
a couple of
Lido's and things like that, and the adults area. So should we move on to the entertainment? Because we briefly mentioned it.
With the bars
as
well. What about the prices of the drinks and things?
They were comparable to the local, we live in Porthcawl, Seaside Town, local pubs around here. They're cheaper than hotel prices, I would say.
And I was finding it just over £7, £7.15 or something.
Yeah.
They put the prices up recently. It used to be just under
£7 something for a cocktail.
For a
lager was about £5 something, wasn't it?
Passion fruit martini, or a pina colada, or that type of thing. How much was lager?
£5 something, I think.
Yeah. Mocktails as well. I did I have a mocktail? I think I had a mocktail once.
Well, they were comparable to most
£3.50, something like that.
Pubs.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't ridiculous prices. It certainly wasn't hotel prices.
No.
So one of the things people say, shall we get the
alcohol package. You hear that all the time. Well, it depends. If you're adults and you drink in the day, which I don't, because I would just fall asleep all day. And you have to, both people in the cabin have to have it. So if I have it, Mel has to have it. And she doesn't drink that much.
And the deluxe package now is around £50.
Yeah,
so...
And I think towards the end you would be drinking for the sake of it.
And also you have to factor in how many ports you're going to go, because obviously you'll be off the ship in some of those. And you can take in a litre of spirits each on the embarkation day, and as many mixes as you want.
Well, you can see how people do it. Two adults who like their wine, like...
Yes. You can get quite expensive wines
or
on like a drinks package.
if you're on a sea day, you'd by the pool have a few cocktails. You could see.
Yeah.
It depends where you.
It depends on, and you get. I think you can get Costa coffee on it as well. However, for us, it wasn't worth it because we don't want like 7 days of just drinking.
Okay.
And because you do have to have a break now and again, don't you?
Do you? Is that true, viewers? Is that true?
No, if you're going a 14-day one, maybe different.
Yeah.
After drink to put up.
Anyway, should we go on to the entertainment?
Yes. So, entertainment. So
we mentioned the Limelight Club. Mm-hmm. That was a good night, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that you can pay for in advance or you can book it when you're there. That is about £25 to £30, depending on who's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how far their careers progressed. Hasn't. Not. I went to Brody's. They had that's where they have the quizzes, and also they have like a busker there sometimes.
Yeah, I have a busker in Brody's as well. Sounds okay.
Yeah, and obviously there's no charge for Brody's. Limelight, there is a charge. Brody's, there's not. Then they have what other things were there? The Atrium Singer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have singers in the atrium most nights. I think every night they had somebody performing there. There was a girl there. A lady. And she was okay.
I mean, she was singing like 70s, 80s stuff.
But one night she did a 70s night with Carole King and stuff, and I really enjoyed. Mel's not a big fan, but I enjoyed that.
Yeah, your mum would have loved that.
Yeah.
It was all 70s music. Also, one thing, when we went to, because it was a Norwegian Fjords cruise, one day when we came back on I think it was Stavanger, they had a gospel choir from Stavanger singing, and I really enjoyed it, even though I'm not religious. I really enjoyed it. It was brilliant. So they came on the ship just to sing in the atrium, and then they go away.
Then there's the main headliners theatre.
Yes.
And we saw the Privateers, which were good, weren't they? They were like
amazing,
shanties, folk songs, Bruce Springsteen, Fleetwood Mac, a mixture of that folk
and they appealed
rock.
To a lot of age.
It was a good crossover because it could appeal to younger people, to the older people as well.
And they started on the Britannia 2 years ago. They were buskers themselves, and then they created this group, and now they're playing in the headliner stage, which is a really big. What's the sort of capacity of that?
Well, I don't know. It's quite a big theatre.
Few hundred, yeah. A proper theatre.
We saw them 2 nights. I think better the first night.
Yeah, and then we saw them in the atrium as well.
Yeah, they performed for about half an hour, 40 minutes in the atrium.
They're really, really good.
And what other show did we see? You saw some bloke, Calon Ray.
Yeah. He was
Calon Land for the Welsh people.
I think he was in The Voice at one time. It was
not everyone's cup of tea.
Not everyone's cup of tea, I don't think.
I didn't fancy it because it just looked a bit poppy and
yeah. He was very glittery and sparkly, so make of that what you will. But he was fine. He had a good voice.
Yeah.
I just didn't think he was as good as the Privateers or anything. What else?
But it's still a good show.
Yeah.
It wasn't your taste, was it?
No, if people are very traditional, it may not appeal to you. Let's put it like that. What about the show we saw?
They did like a musical one, and that was good.
So this was the entertainment team that are based on the ship now. Yeah.
That was funny, but it was good, but in a weird way.
What was it called?
I can't remember. Something musicals, I don't know.
Yeah, so basically it was clips of different musicals, dance routines and singing, and they're really good singers. And so they had Matilda.
Frozen.
Then they had Frozen. Matilda. Then they had Moulin Rouge, and then they had Frozen. And the thing is, the Moulin Rouge section was quite saucy.
It was like it went from pretending to be little kids being Matilda, the bang to having somebody in a leather thong in your face there.
Yeah, and
I'm not complaining. But just the tone was a bit odd.
I did think it was a bit odd. We're not prudes at all, but we found it a bit strange. There's a little girl at the front dancing. I don't think she was dancing to those bits.
Yeah, like she was dancing to Frozen just after that. It's odd mix of musicals they chose, like quite odd.
Yeah.
What got me?
It was saucier than Moulin Rouge, the film.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, and the men had very cut off sort of leather outfits on, which I can't remember in the film.
And we were only like 2 rows from the front.
Yeah, so we were getting the
the
legs in our face.
Get a rat eye for.
Yeah. So anyway, no, but it was really, they were really good. The singers were really good. The dancers were excellent. I can't believe how good they are. You know, they obviously could be on the West End stage. Really, really good. Just a little bit different.
So what other things were, like the Limelight Club had a comedian. We saw him. He was okay.
What was the Limelight Club?
Not the Limelight Club. What's the one at the back?
Yeah, it's another little area.
We have to.
Can't remember that. We'll have to look that one up.
Yeah.
Maybe you can pop it on the screen.
Is that?
Love that. And yeah, the comedian, and Marcus loved it, but I think he'd had a few drinks at that point because I didn't think it was particularly funny. It was like a lot of one-liners. It reminded me a bit of Tim Vine. If you know Tim Vine, the comedian. I've seen him in the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. We're big comedy fans.
But it was quite good considering there's the right mix of ages and types of people.
Yeah.
And it got people laughing, didn't he?
Yeah. It was alright actually, to be honest.
And what else? There was like 70s or 80s discos there.
You've forgotten the main thing.
What?
The silent disco.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Look at this now.
The silent disco was amazing, right? So I went to the silent disco. I thought, I'd love to go to silent disco. I like a bit of a dance, and I never get any chance to dance with him. Can you imagine? But unless we go to a wedding or something, okay? So got the headphones on. Right, and there's actually 2 DJs there playing different music. They're actually DJs, it's not a track or anything. And then you press the button on the side and you can change tracks. You've got 2 tracks you can choose from. And then people got these headphones on and they're dancing, they're singing along. And then, so you may have like Dancing Queen on, and then you may have
something
Bon
else.
Jovi on the other one. So it's like people singing and dancing. It's amazing, it's so funny. So we went along to the first one and Marcus said, I'm not doing this. And I was really disappointed. So I was in a Facebook group for the actual cruise, and a lady in there said, can my friends can't come to the silent disco. Does anybody want to join us? So we said yes.
Yeah, they've
so
got
we got two women. We didn't realise, because we didn't have Wi-Fi all the time, other people said yes, they wanted to come as well. So we felt bad later. But yes, so I met 2 lovely ladies on the cruise, and we went to the second silent disco, and it was so fun. It was brilliant.
Talking in
2.5 hours I danced.
In the crystal room, that was, wasn't it?
Yes, in the crystal room.
And you also went to some other activities in there.
So besides all the singing and the dancing and the comedians and all that, there's lots of activities during the day, different things, like I think there's like talks about art. Sometimes they're trying to sell you the art, mind you. And in the crystal room they had line dancing. I went to twice and it was really good. I think they have fit steps there as well, and they also have
I fell asleep in the room.
So Marcus didn't do any of these activities.
They had some great. They had some great.
Wait a minute.
In-room movies.
Yeah, wait a minute. What was I going to say? Poseidon Adventure was one. Wasn't it?
They had like a lot of 70s disaster movies, including the Tower Inferno and the Poseidon Adventure. Perfect for a cruise.
Anyway,
and also the original Planet of the Apes with Roddy McDowall.
Okay. So basically, I did all the activities and Marcus slept or watched TV.
Okay.
However, wait a minute, let me finish. I haven't finished that
bit yet. Checking my list.
No, I'm still talking about the activities. There's also on the ship a cinema, which Marcus hasn't mentioned at all because he's useless. And the cinema had quite a few screens every day. 3 fairly new films, not brand new, but fairly new films. There was like I Want to Dance with Somebody, the Whitney Houston film on. I think there was A Man Called Otto on, which we'd seen on
You've seen before.
Yeah. What else? There was a few things
There's
on.
something I wouldn't mind seeing, but it was on a day we had something else planned.
Yeah, and recently they had Maverick on the Top Gun film and things like that. So there's a decent cinema on there. There was a few other things I was going to say, Marcus. I can't remember. There's a gym on board, as we said before. There's talks. Oh, I know. One of the reasons why we booked this cruise, I booked it, was because Marco Pierre White was on board. And that was really good. So they have celebrity chefs now and again, and also they have a cookery club on the ship. And the cookery club is their chefs will cook with you. You pay extra for it. I think it's about £50 for a normal chef to cook with you, like a group of you, 10 or 20 of you. But they have celebrity chefs occasionally. And Marco Pierre White, he's designed the menus, isn't he, for the main dining room. And also he comes on the ship and he's there for like a week or whatever, and he will do question and answers. He does the pay extra cookery club, where I think it's like £150 to cook with him, and lots of different things like that. And I saw him on stage and he was cooking.
I had a quick look at the end when he was signing his book.
Yeah, he was cooking.
I've only seen him. My image of him was in his restaurants when he does his rock and roll image with his hair and his cigarette looking cool from like 25 years ago. And when I saw him, he looked a bit like Benny Hill.
Yeah, he had round glasses on.
Black glasses.
But he was actually really nice and really good.
He said he was really nice. The persona of him being a
bit of a
arrogant chef type thing. He was much nicer in person.
Yeah. He was lovely, and you can have. He was selling his books as well, so you could sort of have them signed and things like that. But yeah, that was really good. So they do have the cookery club on the as I said, on every Britannia, running on the Britannia, especially for Britannia.
Okay, should we go on to where we actually went?
That's a good idea.
The ports.
The ports, okay then.
So, where exactly did we go?
Where did we go, Mark?
Norwegian Fjords. Well, Southampton, day at sea. First port was Stavanger, and that was sunny, and that was a nice little town, wasn't it?
Yes.
For some reason, in bad weather, they can't dock there. It's hard for them to dock, but we were lucky, and it docks right in town.
Yes.
So you get off and you're in Stavanger by the old town.
None of the ports had any tenders on
which
this.
Is good.
Trip.
So Stavanger's good, interesting.
Mm-hmm. What did we do there?
We just walked around and just enjoyed Norway because the weather was nice, and just a little walk. Mm-hmm. And it's soak up the atmosphere of Norway.
I went in the shop to get some Norwegian snacks.
Saw my first troll.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the troll every day of my life.
And that was what day was that? That was a Sunday, wasn't it? So a few things were closed. It was quieter because it was a Sunday. So that's Stavanger. Yeah, that's fine. Then the next day was the first. That night was quite windy, wasn't it? Going up to Olden, and that was the fjords proper going down at Olden, and we had bad weather, as in rain and low cloud. But it looked dramatic. If you look at it, it actually looks more dramatic with the clouds lying over the water and the mountains that you sail up. And I got up really early, about 4:30, to see it. And
because the weather was so bad.
The captain said, the captain said, we're going to reach the fjords at 5 o'clock. So I got up really early and went outside, and he was lying. We hadn't got there yet. So look, that was just sea. But anyway, I waited half an hour and he managed to turn and start cut the fjords.
Up to that point, the weather hadn't been brilliant, as in it was a bit rocky, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Going into the first port. However, we took travel tablets with us, and we were fine.
All the people, like one night, the celebration night, the Saturday night, like
that was
the worst weather, and they had the sick bags out on the steps. But people are sick, don't take any tablets. I'm a really bad traveller.
Yeah.
And that's what put me off going on cruises in the first place. Because, I can't even look down in a car or anything like that. I can't read on a train. I feel sick. But take a tablet and you'll be okay. Take a tablet before you feel sick.
Yeah.
When you hear the forecast, take a tablet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was fine. I went out for dinner, everything was fine. So anyway, Olden. Olden, where they have the nearby is Lowen Skylift and the glacier, and we were going to make our own way to the glacier because the excursions are expensive, and you can get to some of these places yourself.
What's the glacier called? The Brick Sal Glacier?
Yeah,
we'll put the name below or above on the screen.
Brickstall Glacier.
Okay. Something like that. We were going to take a transfer bus, weren't we?
Yeah, Brickstall Glacier.
It's just a local bus.
But the weather was really bad, as in heavy rain, not just rain.
Yeah.
That torrential rain. So we just had a quick look around the port and went back on ship, but we still could appreciate the area.
Yeah.
And also, I would have done a glacier, but we've been to Iceland twice, so we've been glacier walking, haven't we?
Yeah, we had to
So
glacier.
I would like to have seen it, and I'll probably go back when, it. But that's going to Norway. What do you expect? That's this green. You're gonna get.
I'm glad I didn't pay for the sky lift.
Yeah.
Though. That's one thing.
Because you couldn't see more than 50 feet up, could you?
And the sky lift was quite expensive.
Yeah. So we still enjoyed it. That's the thing. You can take it all in. And by the way, I had a comment on somebody that, oh, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. There's no rules. You do what you want to.
Yes.
I got to check the rule book, what you have to do. There's no point doing something if the weather's bad or you don't feel like it. If you like the place, you can go back again, do it again.
We were really enjoying being on the ship. I know that sounds really bad. We travel a lot.
I hate these people that give you the rules, what you must do.
Yeah.
You can't have done this without doing this.
Take a stroll.
Yeah. Anyway, after Alden, which I enjoyed despite the rain, we went to Flom, which was something. Ooh, Flom.
Spelled flam.
Yeah.
Pronounced Flom. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, some bloke,
Person.
yes, the same bloke said blah, 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 blah. And I go, don't talk to me about mispronouncing names. I'm from Wales, and some of the ways people say things about towns around here. Anyway, Flom. And people are like, let's go on the Flom Railway. Yeah, you can if you want to. It's quite expensive.
It's supposed to be really lovely.
It must be lovely, but I don't know, I wouldn't do it on a cruise ship, though, because it was so busy.
Yeah.
It's a queues of people.
I thought it was a little like
no, it's like a
train.
it's like a modern train.
It's like
But instead, we went to the Viking village.
And I really enjoyed this Viking village. We organised it ourselves. I bought a ticket online with the Viking. What was the Viking village called?
It was called. You put me on the spot now. The Viking village. It was called. Anyway.
And we organised the bus, a transfer ourselves.
Yeah.
That's on the Viking Village website.
They book it for you, so you have a ticket, so they tell you where to get a bus.
Oh no, Norway's Best. They organised it. Norway's Best. Anyway, and we got. The only thing is, the bus was half an hour late, which is a bit annoying. Because we had booked a time to come back as well. And the Viking village was really good, wasn't it?
We could have spent more time there, to be honest.
If you've been to St Fagans in Wales,
the Welsh Life Museum,
or the Highland Folk Museum in Scotland, very similar. So basically,
with Vikings.
With Vikings, yeah. But there's no safety stuff there, is there?
What do you mean?
No...
They're Vikings.
Okay.
There's no health and safety with Vikings.
So basically, there's all these little huts around, traditional Norwegian Viking huts, and people dressed up in not the costumes, in what they wore those days, and things like axes and swords and bows and arrows.
And we found out the people playing Vikings are actually from around Europe, and they actually go there for a couple of weeks in the summer to live as Vikings.
So they're not.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of the
woman's there, like doing some knitting or something in the shed. She's from Essex.
Oh, anyway, it's still very good. I threw an axe.
Yeah.
I was trying to get it at Marcus's head, but it didn't. So.
My big head.
Yeah. I was going to miss your big head. Anyway, but Marcus is very good at axe throwing.
Yeah, I found that's my niche.
That's your niche. Your niche. Axe throwing. And we had to go at archery as well, and it was quite interesting. It was just there's a guided tour around which is free, only for about half an hour.
But get there, you have to go through a tunnel which was about 8 miles long, which Mel wasn't too
forgot about that.
Keen on.
I'm not a big fan of tunnels, but I was alright.
So then we went back to Flam, and the sun was out. We had a bit of lunch there. No, I had a bit of lunch. I had a pizza, didn't I? A pizza slice. And you went back to the ship, and I walked up to what was it called? The Breckfossen waterfall.
Ooh.
And it doesn't look that far away from the town, but it's quite steep. So you can see it from the port, and it's quite easy to get to, but the last part, it is steep. And
did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it. It was quite warm. The sun was out and it was quite warm then. When I got back to the ship, I found out she went to the buffet and had the chicken biryani she mentioned earlier.
Oh, not. I didn't have the pizza, because with the little bakery in the sea on the front there in Flom, it was incredibly busy, and basically they hardly had any food left. So
But the weather was really nice.
the weather was really nice. There were a lot of tourists around there. Was there another ship in as well? Was there?
No, that was in Norway.
Oh, okay. And basically, it was incredibly busy. We're saying about food and drinks and stuff. The cost of food and drinks in Norway is a bit more than... It is expensive, but considering everything's gone up in the UK...
Considering what I pay for coffee in the morning here, it wasn't that much more expensive.
No, because we had coffee and a cookie in Stavanger, and it was £10 basically.
So it's the same you pay
So if
in
you
London.
think, £3.50 for a coffee around here, isn't it?
Yeah.
£4.
And at their fourth port, next day, was Haugesund, or Haugesund.
I know
Haugesund?
that. Haugesund.
And people have said this isn't very exciting, this port. It's like where they make...
Oil rigs.
Well, when you moor up, there's like a big oil rig or a gas terminal in front of
Yeah.
you where they make all the rigs for the North Sea. And
We really enjoyed it.
and there's a bit of a walk, about 15-minute walk to get into town over a bridge. And but the weather was really nice when we were there. We really enjoyed it.
It was a nice little town.
And I
the
would
walk
recommend,
was
if
good.
you want to go on a trip, go on the coastal path. It's about 3 miles out to the lighthouse,
when you get off-
which is quite disappointing when you get there.
When you get off the ship, there's some sort of just maps on the side there.
Yeah.
Pick up a map, it says the coastal walk on there.
Yeah,
And it was, how long did it take us to get to the...
it's about an hour to
About
the
an hour,
hour and a half.
An hour and a half,
Slowly.
and then come back as well then.
But
and
it's weather dependent.
very
I wouldn't have done
weather
it.
dependent.
I wouldn't have done that walk in the rain.
There's a
or the
lot of
wind.
things to see, like statues of different people and...
Well, Marilyn Monroe,
Oh, a Marilyn Monroe,
Because-
yeah. But not in that walk, though.
not on the walk, no, but in the town,
In the town.
because her father was
It's
from that town.
Haggersound,
Yeah.
And it was a nice little town actually.
And there's that new museum thing,
The
Viking
Viking
Planet.
Planet. Which, how much was the ticket there?
£21 person. We didn't go in
No, I think
because
it's
it was a
like
nice day. We went for the walk instead.
a new interactive Viking museum, which would be good if you got kids. But the problem is, it is quite expensive. But I don't know how long you would stay there. But yeah,
So
was there anything else?
we didn't do any P&O excursions on the trip, did we? We
No, I
did
found,
our own, like the Viking thing,
and the
and
P&O excursions were quite expensive. Now, Norway is a bit more expensive than the UK, and the P&O excursions were quite expensive. For example, the Low and Skylift was expensive. If you did it yourself, it's cheaper. So you have to balance that up. Have a look at the convenience.
But then you've got the guarantee of them waiting for you to.
Yeah.
You're not going to miss the ship.
or the guarantee. But if you're going to do a morning excursion, you're not going to miss a ship, are you?
Like in Flom, for example, there's like a little cruise round to the other fjord,
Yeah.
and there was canoeing there right by the ship.
Yeah.
You didn't have to get on a coach to transfer it to anywhere. You could do
No,
stuff straight
and
off.
there was things like there was rib sailings on those little sort of
Yeah.
inflatable boats where they go fast on the...
I would do some research to find out where
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you got onboard credit, you would use that. But
There's lots of Facebook groups for P&O, by the way. So there's lots of like P&O Britannia. There's specific cruise groups for that cruise you're going on as well. And I found them really helpful, really useful.
So then it was back on board for another sea day back to Southampton, and the weather was much nicer coming back, wasn't it?
Yeah, and there was I don't think you could get sunbed then, could you anyway?
Yeah. So, should we go to the summary overall?
Summoner.
I really enjoyed our second cruise ever.
I think we're starting to become addicted, to be honest. Aren't we? Well,
I think
am.
the main thing, like for the fjords, we would never have gone there
No.
if it wasn't on the ship, because it's quite expensive and harder to get to. Unlike Mediterranean places like Barcelona, which we've been to, and all
Yeah.
the Med we've been to many times, we've never been to Norway, especially that area.
I think some ships as well, especially P&O, seem to be very well priced. I mean, this cruise...
The value for money is the main thing, what you get for your money.
Okay, so you could book this cruise for, I think it was about £400 per person on the £400 to £500 per person for the inside cabin. We paid £1,400, £1,420 I think it was, for 7 nights, and that includes all your food, all your entertainment. Doesn't include alcoholic drinks. It includes things like tea and coffee and juice in the morning. Juice wasn't very good one, did it?
No.
It's good value for money for what you get, I think. And we had a balcony, and the balcony is more of an, is an upgrade from the inside cabin.
Like obviously I would like to be on like a more intimate ship, or just as big with less people. But you're going to be paying for that. You'll be paying twice or 3 times as much. You can do that.
Yeah, if you go into your Vikings and
don't
stuff
forget,
like that,
we're just getting into
cruises.
cruising, and I think compared to even a normal holiday, the value for money is really good.
What I really liked as well, I'm not a big fan of flying, and it's so quick and easy to get on the ship.
Yeah, just the
from the
hassle.
beginning.
Because now it takes like 3 or 4 hours, even if you go into Europe, just the hassle.
So basically, before we went, we booked a Holiday Inn, didn't we?
Yeah.
In Southampton, and it's right on the by the cruise terminals. A package with overnight, transfer there and back to the cruise terminal, even though you can't walk it if you're pushed.
Yeah.
And parking for up to 14 nights, it was about £200, okay? But that included your parking.
And also, even coming back.
But wait a sec. But when you got there, when you were dropped off, they took your luggage. And if you were within like half an hour of your boarding time, you went through security, check-in through security on the ship, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's how long it took to.
That's if you are at your correct time.
They make you wait otherwise. So don't turn up too early.
So we've done the Aurora small ship, one of the older ships. We've done the Britannia. We may be going on another cruise. We may do that. Don't tell anybody.
No, don't tell anyone.
And it will be on one of the bigger ships, or the newer ship. So we would have done a cross section
of the P&O.
Why are we talking down
here? Oh, are we doing P&O?
Why am I whispering?
Are we doing P&O?
Yes, we are.
Oh, P&O.
So we would have done the smallest and the oldest,
the
mid and the newest and the biggest to get a cross section.
Oh, you said the newest and the biggest then. So if anybody knows anything about P&O, we might work out what ship we're going on.
Yeah. So
it's exciting.
Yeah. So stay tuned for what's to come.
Ooh.
A bit of an adventure, this one.
Oh,
a bit of one.
A big
anyway,
adventure.
So, like I said, we've done the cross section of P&O ships now. Who shall we try next?
Oh, yes.
Obviously, we've got this mystery trip coming up in autumn, probably. But next year, who should we try? Obviously.
Or even this year.
Yeah. What are your recommendations?
I know there's a few ships, a few cruise lines I'd like to go on.
Yeah.
Like
first of all, MSC, I've heard really bad things about MSC. I know they're the budget ones, but they got massive ships. And I know they look nice, but I've heard poor things about customer service and crowds. I could be wrong. This could be just sometimes you get caught up in the same things and the same people talk. Sometimes the moaners can be the loudest.
I mean, ones I've been looking at: Celebrity, Princess, Norwegian.
I like the sound of Celebrity. They seem to have a balance between the more luxurious and nicer end, but still not so stuffy.
As well.
Not so stuffy.
Oh, and also Cunard.
That they're more traditional sort of thing. But I'll be like, that's the one that you wear a smoking jacket as the ship sinks. Or the women and children get on the lifeboat. That's what I imagine Cunard.
Stop talking.
That's my Cunard.
Whenever we used to go flying, Marcus used to watch aircraft investigation videos. And what were you watching on YouTube, Marcus?
What? I wasn't nothing.
Wait a minute. What were you watching on YouTube?
I don't know what.
It was something about a plane
crashing into a boat.
A
double whammy.
A double whammy.
Anyway. So that was our experience on the P&O Britannia, and we would recommend it. It was good value for money. I enjoyed it. Shame the weather wasn't perfect, but it's Norway. What to expect? It's not the south of France, and we'll see you in maybe another video about our new adventures, our forthcoming adventures
later on in the year.
Oh yeah, later on. But meanwhile, watch our other videos. We're not just cruising, is it?
No.
We used to go for fly driving and exploring.
We did.
Yeah.
And we're still fly driving and exploring.
Route 66.
And if you haven't done a cruise before, we've got a first time cruise video, which has got a few hints and tips for you if you're a first time cruiser as well.
Anyway, it's time for you to make me a cup of tea now. Okay?
How does that work?
Okay, woman. Don't hit me. Anyway, until next time. Bye.
Bye.